Judge Hamilton, that the audio works on this thing when you record the screenshots. So I'll run you through Community here, and this will probably be my last video for a while. I mean, I want to get it over with. I'm kind of stuck on it, but we'll go from there. So I got kicked off trying to arrange a Ukraine-Russian peace conference. They hacked me at a pilot at Highway 81 and Route 66. I was there for a few days, and they killed my tablet. Well, they'll eventually blow this device up too. So I'll come down here and I'll scroll down for you and give you a little update about what's on this community page here. So we go down here to Community, and there's a lot of stuff in home, videos and playlists, and there's a lot of stuff in code and stuff like that. So we go down here, and we're looking at, some of the email stuff here. We'll get down there, and this is some of the stuff about Elvis and some of the stuff we thought they were working on with him with Priscilla. And then we go down here and we'll get to the important stuff. This is just some of the stuff that wasn't going their way. Here's some of the Google harassment, which is completely unconstitutional. Here we got the code right here that says that any agency, employee, party, country, state, affected public instance, drawn in question, certify the fact, Attorney General. Okay, this is for intervention on the Tennessee and U.S. state capitol. It says you have to register with both Attorney Generals before you actually do the actual physical motion. So that has been done through this community page with enough evidence. And then we get down here to the small war journals, and we see that they're ran by the European Union, and they're not publicizing my stuff, but they will admit to it, with the judge or whatever, like I said. And then here's some of the old stuff on how militia works and why the spellings are different, which is also correct. You can use an I also. And then we get down here to some of the older ethics that predate what they're on, just to show, some purpose. And then here's where I actually left Memphis and was gone for like 7 or 8 months. I actually just walked out here with what I had on my back, like Jesus said, and hit every shelter along the way, hitting litigation, and was stalked the entire way, all the way to Gate City, Virginia. And on the way back, I tried to get a Greyhound, and they pulled us all off the bus, our luggage. I went to the bathroom, come out, and they would not tell me which gate was mine until I missed the bus, and I've been stuck here another 2 months being tortured. And then you get down here, and we're looking at some of the stuff that happened to Michael Jackson. If you look, his face is all distorted, cut up. It's really weird. It's just some extra stuff. But if you don't put some extra garbage in here, they'll pull everything. So it's got to look a little weird. And then here's some of the stuff that was interesting. And then when you go down a little lower, and it all connects. Here's the George Floyd. And this is a big one because, it's not even George Floyd. He's just one of the allegations. And you'll get to where you'll see his face, and that's not George. And there's the video. So, that's one of the things. And that's a big one. And this is just some of the stuff that I'm alligating. And you see there, they're slowing down my Wi-Fi because they're getting really nervous. But I can let this go. And here, when you go to Deep State Setup, and you go to Putton here, and I'm going to let this run for a while because I'm going to YouTube it, and I'm going to do this legally. And as you can see, we don't have a lot of cooperation, but you go to Pinterest, and you can see there, they're holding up my mail. I'm trying to get it out, and I'll probably have to go back, and hit it again, and key it a few times. And they have so many people cloning my phone that it won't even open. There we go. So here it opens. I'm going to show you some of these pictures. This is about Soros. This is like Vampire Joke. Some of the internet I'm hitting when they're not hacking me on a real phone. Some pictures of Soros. There's Dean. There's Obama. And this was the George Clooney adoption case. And this is where he actually had her. And he had her, and I'll show you down here. You'll see. If you go down here, you'll see where he had her on a boat. Same girl, and that's where they found her. So we have Obama on about it. And then here's Trump 316, where he thinks he's goddamn Jesus' kid. Okay? And then here's some of the operations. There's George Floyd at his own funeral. And then we'll go down to some more of these pictures, Judge, and we'll see where they're stalking in infrared and all of this. And they got some really nice character in crisis. Here they are. There's a human arm she's eating. These are real cannibals. And here's some of the conspirators. That's the Pope's real name. He was already sentenced for cannibalism and child sacrifice. His real name is George. They basically killed John Paul. There's Elizabeth and all her friends. There's Mitch McConnell in drag, escaping his country. And then we have some stuff on Hitler, and then you got, of course, the White House trainings. They're not protected in the Constitution whatsoever. So that's another election fraud that they use unconstitutional persons and beings to do. There's a little tip on the Nano. This is behind Corky's, how long they've been doing the stalking. Some stuff about Lucky. The big thing about Marlon Brando is they tapped it for information, and Giuliani got like 4,000 pages or minutes of his stuff, or recordings, and he basically set up a Nazi mob and took the real guys out, for paperclip for these guys. Here's some human flesh we found out there, just looking for the web. Some of the White House trainees have been using hanging flags. There's Reuben Riven. You can see face change. They use crazy glue to impersonate these people And it's real. This is real CIA stuff. That's the job of the countries. Here we have the speculation of Martin Luther King. We could not have survived this gunshot. He's two different people. We haven't confirmed this, but they've changed the format on Bounce and BET and made everything basically racist, prejudiced, and underlined, and used my own program, which is Signs, to basically to work on us. And then you see there's the nose profile of him as a son, and we haven't got to the bottom of that. And then you see Kamala Harris and Trump with a human head on the tank here. When you get down a little lower, and that was Afghanistan when they stole our NATO caravan and took it out there and gave it to the Taliban. There you see that, there you go, Seinfeld, he was one of them, he was in Nuremberg. And then you get down here farther, and you see Jimmy Strickland, some more trainings, there's some more paperclip guys. There's the old man Bush, there's Putin and Drag, they're all trainings. That's the only thing we found as a common link amongst all terrorists, is they'll all go gay. All religions are different, denominations, religions, languages, countries, loyalties, they're all different until you get to the gay stuff. They'll do gay stuff to commit to terrorism. Here's some of the stuff I caught them doing. Here's some of the bodies and stuff they were chopping up and consuming. They're real cannibals. There you got Hitler right there, and if you look too over when you go to Paperclip, you see that it is Joe Biden. It is Operation Paperclip when you go to internet on Google. Here's Andy Beshear, aka Senate War Criminal Oliver North, after his surgery, impersonating a governor. You go down here, here's some of the young, that is the president, or was the president of France, which is actually, we believe, Epstein's half-brother. Here's Adolf Hitler and Vladimir Putin. This is called Hitler's Final Solution. This is the plan to do us all together. And this was a video, and he's right there next to Hitler right there. And then you go down here, and you got Hans, of course, and you got Anne Frank, which is Kamala Harris. And yes, the signature does match. It does match. And here's a young Epstein, and he's escaping. He's escaping with, of course, Ghislaine Maxwell out of Italy. He's 20% Mussolini, which explains the battle. Here is Reuben Rivlin, the ex-president of Israel's wife, with Elizabeth. They're very connected. Here is Yellow Wolf, of course, with Donald Trump. He was part of the kidnapping. Here's some speculation of Hillary, but we haven't proven it, but she's not doing so well. Here you have Charles impersonating Biden, along with, we've caught Robert Kennedy doing it. Here you have Mark Zuckerberg, which was actually a guard at the Nuremberg trials, and he actually orchestrated this all, and he's been running human trafficking basically since Facebook has started. And that's when my life was screwed up. And once again, there's a better picture of Mitch McConnell. Then we get down here, and here's Anne Frank, of course. And like I said, the handwriting matches. Here's how we coincide with Mad Music, and it goes together, we work together. Once again, here's Paperclip, and you'll see some characters there. There's Yellow Wolf, he's part of this. There's Roger Stone, Paperclip. There's Mike Pence, he was part of the Nuremberg trials. Reuben Rivlin, of course. And then we go down and you find some more. And there's some of the tank pictures and stuff. And these blow up on Pinterest, and you can recover the whole picture. Then you have Epstein with Clinton, and then you have Obama's pick for the second defenses who's screwing this up, which is our prime suspect for the MLK3. This is the pictures from Geraldo. This is who they have at the Equidome, when I ran them out of the Equidome. And that was also, I ran them out of the district in Memphis. And that is where I ran into this guy, which he was Neil Devereaux, which is also a Nazi. There's his real name. He's reported in the small war journals. And I beat him with a shovel and buried him on Elvis Presley in a funeral across from the scrapyard, right under a thing that looks like a briar patch. And I told the fellas the only thing I did wrong is it wasn't a real briar patch, it just looks like one. But he's under there, he's been reported like he's supposed to be. And here's some of the Nuremberg trials, and once again, Paperclip. And then here's the interesting one. This is Lee Harvey Oswald, there's Jack Rudy, and you're going to show you later of Vladimir Putin. And this is the Peace Corps. And here in the mist, you see Ghislaine Maxwell, and you see Roger Stone, and they got that cone, and they're running the mind control on Oswald. And here's some of the stuff. And here you go. Here they all are. There's your boy Putin. There's Rudy. There's Oswald. And there's where the blow-up is in the picture. This is the White House where they're in the trees, dressed up like fucking nutcases, vampiring people. And I mean, when Old Man Bush told me they were really vampires, literally, I laughed. And he would get so mad and red in the face, I couldn't believe it. But they literally, I mean, he wasn't kidding. And once again, we have Anne Frank. And once again, we have speculation on Joe Biden as being Fred Trump. And I'll go ahead and pull that up on the way out and let you go from there. But that's just the deep state set out. So we'll go back to the scroll here, and I'll get back down here, and they'll probably mess my stuff up or hold me up. So I'll go back to community and play this little game. Because what do they want me to do? Lose my mind and snap, like, right? I got a perfect psych from Texas A&M from the OCC commitment. I aced the test. I aced it. Here you won't see that it won't open. They got me tied up. They got the phone clowned. And I want to show you so much more, but it's a 10-minute video. So I guess I'll have to try part 2 next.